5. What's up, everybody? This is Terry with NSPS Paranormal Podcast, Raw and Uncut. How you guys doing this evening? Tonight, we have a very special guest, a group of pretty cool paranormal investigators out of Dallas, Texas, called Ghost Geeks. Now, I've seen a couple of these guys' videos. You have to check them out. But these guys are really, really cool. They got some kind of weird stuff that they do, but you know what? If it works, it works. You know what I'm saying? So who am I to say anything about these guys? But these guys are really cool. So I suggest you go to their YouTube channel and check them out. Now, hey, do not underestimate these guys. You know, just because they got the name Geek in their Ghost Geeks, but these guys are pretty cool. So I'm gonna turn it over to them and I'm gonna let these guys introduce themselves. Guys.
Hello, I'm Chad.
Hi, I'm Kiki.
And we are the founders of Ghost Geeks. Basically, Ghost Geeks is our creation of, we're gonna science the crap out of this.
There you go.
I'm a data scientist by trade. That's what I do for my day job. So basically, I collect data and analyze things all day long. So I'm a natural analyst. And Kiki is got the bigger cojones than most people, and so I need her. And just so everyone knows, right now we're actually inside the Broken Bow Asylum, and we had a break-in just a minute ago of a raccoon. So
wow.
If anybody sees a raccoon, please tell us.
I will. Hey, maybe he want to be a part of the team, man.
Right.
You know, speaking of teams, how many are there in y'all's investigation team?
We are mostly family. So it's me,
okay,
my sister-in-law, Kristen, my wife, Leslie, Kristen's daughter, Reagan, then my nephew, Brylan, makes up the core of us. But we also investigate with some other people. Like tonight, my older brother is actually going to join us on this investigation, as does my niece, Brinley. So they'll be here in just a little bit. They're driving real slow because it started snowing like crazy up here. So there's really 6 of us as a core, but we usually go out with 6 to 10 people. It just depends on the size of the location, but we tend to keep our investigations really small.
Okay, now how big is this location you guys are in tonight? I mean, you said it's an asylum, but can you give me the square footage wise on that?
If I had to guess, I'm gonna put it probably 20,000 to 25,000 square feet. So it's pretty big place. It's a big U, and each wing is pretty large. Yeah, it's pretty big.
Okay, how did you guys manage to get access to that place by chance?
Let's see. Ashley, she's the owner. If you just call her, if you just go to Facebook and you type in Broken Bow Asylum, they'll come up, pop it in, and they've got a phone number that you call, and she'll pick up the phone and be like, what date you want to come and check it out? And she'll get you set up.
Now, is there a fee to come?
There is a fee, and it varies. But if I'm not mistaken, right now she's actually running a special where I can't remember what it was. If it was like buy one get one date free, or it was. But there is a fee, and I believe it's $400.
It's like $400 for the whole weekend, or something like that.
It's either
buy one night, get the second night.
Yeah, it's like you buy Friday night, you get Saturday night for free, but that's not all the time. I just know she just recently ran a promotion. So just go check out Broken Bow on Facebook, Broken Bow Asylum on Facebook, and you'll get all the details.
Wow. You know what? That price is not bad compared to some places, especially if you get a second night free.
Yeah,
that's pretty good. Now, another question that I have for you guys. I know that's a big facility. Are you guys are equipment heavy? I mean, do you got like multiple cameras?
Yeah, I'm gonna take this real quick, and I'll turn you around here real quick. Oh, I'm covering up the. So right here, I bring our editing station because we do live productions as well. So we're gonna live stream tonight, actually. So around 9 o'clock, we'll go live.
Okay.
And then we have our mixing studio right here. So this is our live broadcasting situation that we got going on. And over here, you can see all of our DVR cameras we got set up.
Wow.
But then out behind us, we're keeping this room really warm, but out in the lobby in front of us, we've got another table full of all of our REM pods and
K2 meters,
you know, all of that stuff. And what kind of separates us from a lot of the other groups that are out there is I'm also an electronics engineer. So I build all my equipment. And when I say Ghost Geeks, like I 3D print everything, I prototype it, breadboard it. In fact, if anybody's interested in that kind of stuff, starting in February, the first Tuesday of every month is Tech Talk Tuesdays. Next month, we're going to be in February, we're going to talk about 3D printing and how to incorporate 3D printing to build your own gear. So that's going to be the episode for that one. So we try to teach people how to build their own gear. That way you understand how it works rather than just the lights are flashing. Well, what does it mean? It's like, what is actually causing that? What's the science behind it? How does it work?
Yes, sir. Now, another question. How long have you guys actually been a paranormal team? How long have you guys been together?
Officially 2 years now.
Officially 2 years. We've all been interested in
this
for many years.
Yeah, we've been doing this. I've been doing this since I was a kid, like 7, 8 years old. We actually grew up not far from here on the Indian reservation, so heavily involved in the paranormal. But we made it official 2 years ago and called ourselves the Ghost Geeks.
Now, who is the leader of the team or the co-leader? Or you got
right here.
Okay. Now, quick question of, you guys said you guys been involved in the paranormal since you were kids. Now, did you guys have a paranormal experience when you was a kid to, want to go down this road?
Oh yeah. So we had a lot of paranormal experiences as kids. One of the things that really kind of got my attention was I remember being at our house, and I'm probably 7 years old. And we lived out in the country, so there's not another house with us for probably half mile. It's a pretty good chunk of change between us and the next person.
Right.
And so it's not like you're hearing background noises, but I remember walking in our kitchen and hearing footsteps. And I thought it was my mom. So I kind of, Mom, what are you doing? And nobody said anything back.
Right.
So I left the kitchen and I looked down our hallway and I was like, Mom. And then I hear the cabinets in the kitchen go kaboom. Wow. And I jumped back and turned around. And that's when I started going, what in the world is going on here? And that from that day on, my interest has been completely piqued by that. So
yeah, that's something else. The way I started is, my grandparents, my grandmother was very Southern Baptist. Mm-hmm. And I was, she tried to get me into that, but, it just didn't work out. But, one Sunday she decided that she wanted to go, have a drink at a bar on a Sunday, which is a big no-no. If you're Southern Baptist, you really don't do all that. Well, she decided that she wanted to do it. And, long story short, she was coming home, and the way we lived on a incline. So everything was like downhill, but you had to come up the hill to get to the house because it sits on top of the hill. She got out the car. Our neighborhood was, man, we were so hood, dude. We basically broke out every street light. We couldn't find things to do. So as she got the car, I looked down the hill. Kid you not, guys. My grandmother said she saw a chariot coming up the hill.
Really?
You not, a chariot coming up the hill. First thing that happens is this here was doing a lot of talking. So she didn't pay no mind to it, but when she got to the door, it stopped right in front of the house.
Right.
And sure enough, the devil himself got out of it. Walked up to the door. And my grandmother was like, dude, if you see this woman, she was like 2'9", but she was very firm. I mean, you had to be. She raised 10 kids and 15 grandchildren.
Sounds like my grandma.
Yeah. So, she was like, what do you want? And she's like, The devil, this is word for word. He's like, well, I want to come in. And she's like, no, you can't come into my house. I'm not going to let you. If you guys ever seen The Lord of the Rings when Gandalf was on that bridge. Yeah.
We're not nerds at all.
Yeah, right. The same way, she stood firm on that.
Yeah.
And she was like, no, you cannot. Well, so he made his way into the house and started fighting. I mean, literally tore up the living room, the dining room, the kitchen. But the weirdest thing, guys, nobody heard a thing.
Wow.
Nobody heard a thing. I got up for school that next morning, and I was in the back bedroom. I got up, walked in there, and I'm looking around like, Grandma, what the heck? Did you fight yourself? What did you do? I mean, what is going on? And grandmothers have that certain look and that certain, you know, if you got a grandmother who's old school, they sit a certain way, they do things certain ways. She sat right there in that chair and she's like, son, I just had a fight with the devil tonight. And I'm like, you're kidding me, right? You know, a 13-year-old kid. If you tell a 13-year-old kid that, he's like, yeah, right. Get out of here, Grandma. You've been drinking. You've been drinking from last night. And she was like, but I've seen the aftermath of that. I mean, the kitchen was totaled up. Dude, the couch was flipped over. The tables was just everything was just a mess. And then you start putting two and two together and you start realizing, well, why would grandma tear up her own house? I mean, that don't make any sense to me. You know, and not only that, the battle scars, the scratches on the arms, the legs, the tearing of the clothes. And I'm like, Grandma, she just had that look in her face, was like, I speechless, bro. She was speechless. And that right there took me into the paranormal, you know, and I just like, well, I mean, I was just drawn to it from there. I mean, I'm the only one the rest of my family think I'm a loony, you know, but I'm the only one that does this, you know, and it's very appealing to me, you know.
Yeah.
I'm the type of guy that because with us, there's only 4 members. Well, I'm trying to add 2 more to add 6. But if I need to do an investigation, I will go by myself.
Yeah, totally.
I've done it plenty of times. I'm not afraid of the dead. I'm not afraid of cemeteries. I'm not afraid of none of that stuff. And
no, there's nothing to be afraid of.
No, it's nothing to be afraid of. The only thing I'm afraid of is walking into a cemetery where, you know, the graves are so old that over time, where you might get to walk into one, you know, and fall. But that's about it, dude.
For me, it's more of a safety issue. You know, there's times we've investigated places where, you know, like now you have a raccoon. You know, you come around a corner and you meet an animal and you're like, oh my God.
Yeah, right.
Other than that, you know, the paranormal world has nothing to be afraid of. They have no power in this realm. So
no power whatsoever.
That's all you got to remember, is they have no power in this realm.
So another question, guys. Tell me your most scariest moment that you guys have ever had as a team.
Okay. Other people just showed up. I was like, those are
well, hey, but you know what? You ain't even got to ask that question because I already know.
I probably have to say in Ballinger.
Ballinger at Old Park?
At Old Park.
Which time?
Well, there was when I got grabbed, or when Ryan got choked.
Wow.
Really? Yeah, when Ryan got choked.
Yeah. And
we had a friend of ours get choked, and you can actually see the rope marks starting to form on his neck.
Really?
We watched him one by one, lines go around his neck, like somebody was trying to put a noose on him. That was crazy.
I've heard about that place, dude, and I've heard a lot of bad stuff happens there or happened there, but you know.
Yeah, it's I've been doing a lot of research on this place because we just recently did a live investigation there last month. And I researched the crap out of everything. And I have found out so much about that town. It is unbelievable. It's literally one of those places where the Wild West truly was the Wild West. And just looking at that town's history from about 1850 to 1930, it was no man's land out there. I mean, you had to have some cojones to kind of want to be out there, because it was violent. I mean, the building next door to it was where Manny Clements was shot and killed by the sheriff, who then bought the property and had an attempted assassination on him that blew off his arm.
Wow. See, I have not got, I mean, that's pretty good, because I have not got that far into, history of that place. But every time I do a podcast, people bring that place up.
Yeah, it's a great one, and we investigate there a lot. In fact, you didn't go to all of them, but I have been out. I was out there 16 times this last year.
16 times.
16. What's really great about that place, though, is Dan and Connie are awesome. There's actually a little airport that's just 2 miles?
Not even 2 miles.
Yeah, like it's not even 2 miles away from it. And I'm a pilot, so we actually fly from Fort Worth over to Ballinger. It only takes an hour.
Wow. I've heard it all. Paranormal investigators flying. That's crazy. Yep. Wow, dude.
So, yeah, we were having pretty rough weather conditions today, but we like to fly to a lot of the places we go to. But
really?
Yeah.
Well, wow, dude, that's very interesting, because a lot of paranormal teams don't do that.
Nope. Not at all.
Don't do that. Now, tell me some other places you guys have been.
Oh gosh, we were probably one of the last groups to investigate the Nazareth Hospital.
Okay.
In Mineral Wells. Where else have we done? The Yorktown Memorial Hospital. I love hospitals.
Now,
there's something about hospitals. I love them.
Is Yorktown the one down in
just south of San Antonio, kind of out?
Okay.
A little more towards the coast, but about even with San Antonio.
Okay. Now I believe that a lady owns that place. Am I right?
Yeah, she's the same lady that owns the Black Swan. Yeah.
Okay. Now, see, the reason why we didn't go there, because it's kind of pricey, if I'm right.
I think they charge $500 to go there.
Yeah.
Don't quote me, but I think that's what it was.
And the way NSPS TV Paranormal is set up is we try not to go to a lot of places where a lot of paranormal teams have investigated, for the simple fact, because if you do your investigation right, you're going to get the same result. Either you catch something or you don't. Our goal is to investigate the places where nobody wants to go to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
If there's a cemetery right up the street that only have maybe like 5 graves in it, compared to a cemetery that everybody has been to. And I mean, but this cemetery with 3 graves is a lot more paranormal, has a lot more activity than the one with 1,500 graves in it. I'm going to go to the one to the left. I mean, I'm going to go to that one. You know what I'm saying?
Every time.
Plus, and what really gets me is, like I've been doing this for 2 years, just like you guys. And I talk to people all over the country saying, well, this is the most haunted, that's the most haunted. Here, we're at the most haunted place on the planet.
Yeah.
How do you know? I'm just curious.
How do you know? Things, I don't think anybody can claim to be the most haunted. I think it's just a matter of the activity just seems to happen at the right time when the people are there and it gets to be experienced. Because I've been to some, most haunted places and it was quiet. And that's okay, because it's not like, dance monkey, dance. You can't expect them to do what we want them to do and they want to go,
But here's the thing. If I can get every paranormal investigator on this planet to stop saying that, I think that would be great for the paranormal world, because it's really hard for someone to really say that this place here is the most haunted place on the planet, because we really don't know.
No, not at all.
We really don't know. You know
yeah,
what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
people should just say we have a fairly haunted location. We have a good haunted location. Nobody, I don't think anybody can really claim they got the most haunted.
Yeah.
I think individual energies that you bring to an investigation can completely change the outcome.
Exactly.
Different weather patterns, magnetic field interruptions from Earth can change what can happen. So,
exactly.
you know, anything can happen. And so I think the biggest thing is just be open to anything. And if you don't have an experience, you chalk it up to yourself. Never
That's
blame
right.
the
There you go. I mean, because the thing is, most people, when they ask me, did you catch anything? Did you catch anything? Did you catch? I like, dude, it'll be some time where it's so quiet, you can hear a pin drop.
Yeah.
And you won't catch anything. But it seems like every time I go on an investigation, people expect for me to come back with some kind of evidence. And it doesn't work like that. You know, you catch some, you don't, you do, you mark it down, you know, and then you move on. Then you show your findings, you know, at whatever, then you just move on. But you're not going to catch everything every single time you go out. I mean,
I tell a lot of people it's like deer hunting. If you got a deer every time you went out, it wouldn't be called hunting, it'd be called killing.
It'd be called killing. You're right. You know, but if we could just stop these people from saying that, that would be great. You know, but I know I can't. Who am I? I mean, I'm little old me. I mean, I ain't nobody.
Yeah.
I'm little old
and
Terry.
you know what hurts is when people get so desperate for it that everything becomes paranormal.
Oh my
it's
God.
Like, when you do that, you do a disservice to yourself, because part of what makes it so great, what makes this field so incredibly awesome to be a part of, is the rarity of what really happens. You know,
exactly.
If it was commonplace, it would be so easy to just go and do it, but it's not, and it shouldn't be, because that's what makes it special. When you get the activity, is you now have a connection and that experience and something to hold on to like that. And that's what really, to me, is the beautiful part of paranormal investigating, is that connection you get to develop when you actually have the activity.
Now, who is the critic in the group? Who's the one that actually debunks everything?
We all are.
We all do it.
Y'all.
that is phase one.
Phase one.
From, did you hear that, to, well, let's figure out what it was and what it could have been. And
you know, because I've had a team that just started, you know, and they went to a cemetery, and this orb was probably about as big as this ball.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, hold up. I've never seen an orb that big before. It's the size of a moon or something. So,
that ain't dust.
Yeah. So I looked back, got the video, went back, and I looked at it, and I blew it up. So some things you got to blow up to actually see the whole aspect of, you know, of the situation. And you know what it was? The reflection of a flashlight off a stop sign.
Yeah, them suckers glow, man.
Yeah,
them suckers glow.
The reflection, and you know what? And I didn't want to break the spirit. I didn't want to say, well, no, guys, you know, this here is part of being, you know,
but that's our duty.
Yeah. And they were like, oh man, why'd you have to do that? I said, well, first, let's stop for a minute. We can't go out putting out false evidence. We don't want to be like these guys, like Taps, you know, and these guys that's on TV, which if they don't catch anything, they're gonna forge something up, you know. And I'm like, well, I'm just being honest with you, bro. I mean, you guys, you know, you're trying hard, but like, you know, like me and you talking about right now, there's a good chance you're not gonna catch everything every investigation. And you know, and they were stunned for what I like, dude, all it takes is just a little work. You know, that's something that you guys gonna have to learn as you go. You know.
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that gets most under realized when people come into this field, that they think you can just go somewhere and sit around and be like, oh, paranormal activity. No, as an investigator, a lot of it falls on you to help draw them out, to give them a reason to connect to you. And so you got to do your homework. So it's not just show up and go, you know, you got to do a little pre-planning and pre-work to figure out how you're going to get to connect with them. And sometimes, you know, if you're repeatedly going to a place, who are you going to try to connect with? So learning the stories and it's not just show up and, you know, now perform.
Now, what places do you guys prefer the most? Abandoned locations? Oh, well, okay.
It's cold right now. We got one room with some heat in it, and the rest of the building is 20 degrees.
20 degrees. Wow. You can see your breath. And
just about.
Hey. Me myself, I love cemeteries. I love going to cemeteries. There's so much history there, you know, at places. And me being in Central Texas,
yes,
you can basically run into a cemetery at every corner.
Yeah, you know, for me, I love hospitals, and I love any places that have to deal with music.
The Arlington Music Hall.
Oh, the Arlington Music Hall. I forgot about that.
Downtown Arlington is amazing.
Really?
So creepy.
All right,
so
guys.
Creepy.
I am going to send you a picture, and I want you guys to tell me what you think about it, okay?
Absolutely.
As soon as because we actually caught this at our last investigation. Just so happened it was a nursing home in Elgin, Texas.
Ooh.
So yeah, dude, it was pretty cool. I am going to send it to you right now. Don't mind the big circle in it. Just tell me what you think. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna send you two.
Okay. You doing it by email or the I got them.
Yeah.
Let's see. Ooh,
oh, wow.
There's shape in that.
There is. It looks like
it's not dust. Definitely not dust.
It was too big. I think it was too big to be dust.
Yeah. I mean, at first you think the haloing around it would be what dust is, but then through the halo, there is shape.
There is something there.
And it's not close to the camera. That's further down the hallway.
Yeah, that's further down the hallway.
So usually when you see orbs in their dust, it's really close to the camera and the camera can't focus on it. So all you see is the halo. I don't know. That's a good one, man.
It almost looks like I can see it, like I see a face, like a head, and it's kind of hunched over, kind of shrouded over, just
like it's on a walker.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, when we were into this investigation, mind you, this nursing home opened up back in the late 50s, right after World War II. And when we did audio. And our SLS camera, it was a lot of people talking like people don't talk today. I mean, they was talking like they were talking back in the 50s and
more
the
proper
60s.
language.
Yeah, a little bit more proper language. And they were talking a lot about their clothes, like a dress. They actually brought up the word France. So I'm thinking this might have been people that were back in, that were like either Holocaust victims or, you know, part of the Holocaust that came here and they got put in that particular nursing home because, you know, back then families really didn't like dealing with the elderly like they do now. So that's where they would put their, you know, their family members, and they just happen to pass away or whatever. But dude, we've caught so much evidence in that nursing home. And like I said, we did our research before we went out there, and it was just crazy. France, somebody named Betty, and what's so crazy about these were simple names that will have back then, because there was no talk, no Tariq back there back in those days. It was just like simple names, and
Yeah.
it was the pretty cool investigation. At one point, they somebody wanted us to leave because they said that we were scaring them. Well, and if you put two and two together, all the technology, the cameras, the K2 meters, that would be frightening to somebody back in those days who's never seen that before.
Yeah, they barely even had television, let alone.
Yeah. So,
when you go even further back.
Yeah. So when you go setting up cameras, stationary cameras and things, and if you got somebody that's there, they're a little bit curious. They don't want to know what that is. Especially when you run around with a KT meter and it lights up and it's lighting up like crazy, and people want to know what those lights are, and which I understand why she said, leave. I mean, you guys are scaring me. Oh, dude, I mean, that's your big place. If you guys ever come to Central Texas, you should check out before they knock it down. Because there's definitely a lot of history there. It's been closed since 2008, but it opened it opened its first doors in 1950. So literally, we're talking about a couple years right after World War II. They start putting people in there. So
that's pretty cool.
It was pretty cool, dude. I really we hung out there for 2 hours. Actually, it was right. We did it on New Year's. It was like our big New Year's thing before the New Year's came in. So
that's cool.
We really enjoyed that, and what
I think I saw the video you posted of that. Yeah.
And it had a basement, dude. There ain't too many places in Texas that have basements.
Especially, we don't have a need for them.
Yeah, especially in Central Texas. But this one had a basement, and and we've heard, dude, it was so much activity going on there. The knocking, the lights. When we put the laser in, because we got a laser grid.
Yeah,
we saw things going from left to right in one particular hallway. I mean, it was really cool, dude. I mean, I can actually validate that place is really haunted. You know what I'm saying? It's not too much that I do that, but that place was really good to go. So you guys should go check it out before they knock it down. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
It's a place that you guys should definitely check out. You know what I'm saying? So how do your parents feel about this, that you guys are paranormal investigators?
My mom comes with me often.
Really?
She loves it. She's Native American, so she's grown up around this, and they've always had a connection to ancestors and the land, and being able to speak to your past, and the big belief that they're always with you. So we kind of were grown up that way too, that if you want to talk to somebody who's passed, all you have to do is talk, and they'll talk back. So we've always grown up being taught that. So it's really great, because it frankly, it's true. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, if you get yourself in the right state of mind, and like my dad's passed. So if I want to talk to my dad, I can go into a quiet room and just, Dad, we got to talk, and have that conversation. Whether you believe somebody's going to talk back to you or not, it's good for you. It's therapeutic. And then you'll just have that closure, or that sense of whatever it is, that topic that you need to discuss. You'll feel like you have the answer to that, but you just got to empty your mind and open your heart and experience it. So
that's something people don't do these days. They really don't. They don't open their mind. The best thing, they definitely don't open their ears.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't open their mind, they don't open their eyes, and they don't open up their ears. No, not at all. If you open up all three of those, man, this world is really a great place. But if you open up one, if you open up one out of three, you got to open up all three to see everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's no way you can open up your eyes and not open up your mind and your ears. You know what I'm saying? It'd be kind of hazy to you. But yeah. Well, since you're talking Native American, what exactly, your tribe? I mean, where's your...
So we're split. So family heritage wise, my dad was German.
Okay.
My mom was, her parents were, one was Choctaw, one was Cherokee. So she split between the two nations. So, but yeah, it's a cool part of the heritage. So
Have you ever been back to
oh
where,
yeah, all the time.
oh, have you ever thought about doing an investigation on that land?
What's really cool is a good chunk of that land now has got buildings on it. So
Are you kidding me?
no, if you're familiar with where the Choctaw Resort is, the Choctaw Casino is,
Yeah.
the land that the Big Lots built on, that's some of the land where we used to have a house. So it's not there anymore. They tore it down so they could widen the road next to the Choctaw Casino down that whole country road that goes back into Durant. And
Wow. Dude.
so yeah.
I mean, did they give that land up for money purposes? I mean,
Yeah, they
what
sold it.
Oh wow, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
that's I don't know, dude. I mean, that's a sticky, that's really, I mean, you're giving up a lot of history right there on your land, you know, and I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty sure you would have said no if you would have had a part of that.
Yep, I'd have kept it.
Yeah, you got to keep
I mean,
that.
if anybody
Man.
wants to sell me an old creepy building, I'm game.
Okay, well, hey, you know what? It's been very interesting talking to you guys, and I see that, you know, they're coming in and out. How often do you guys investigate?
We investigate quite often, but we only do one major investigation each month, just because of the prep work it takes to, you know, to do all the editing, to get everything together to go live and all that stuff. So we do a major event at least once a month, but we do some private stuff that it's behind the scenes. That's just us where we go help people and stuff like that. We'll do that every now and then, 2 or 3 times a month on top of that. So
now, do you guys do we ever do home
yeah, we
investigations?
We sure do.
Okay. I know you guys probably can't talk about it, you know, but I'm gonna ask you anyway.
I actually have one that I want to talk to you about with possible previous owner's daughter was involved in the cult, and there's possible demonic activity.
She did something stupid.
Yes, she did something stupid, and the house actually caught fire.
Wow.
It's been one thing after another after another. So,
we've run into that situation before.
So that's something that we have to discuss. That was brought to my attention just a couple days ago, actually.
All right.
Wow. So how do you guys feel about Ouija boards and weird stuff like that? I mean,
you know, I don't have a problem with it. I think it's just a tool. You know, it's a walkie-talkie. That's how I kind of view it. I mean, as long as you
know how it works,
you're not doing anything dumb with it. And then what I always tell people is be cynical.
Right.
And I'm kind of cynical anytime we get communications, because one, just because their past doesn't mean they're always telling you the truth either. I mean, liars in flesh, liars in death. So
right.
You know, so take everything with a grain of salt. And then, you know, we kind of need to bring more science to this anyway. So question everything. Question everything.
Right. Now, what is the best tool that you have in your arsenal that you like to use?
You're looking at them. As much as I love all the gear and all the gadgets and designing all that stuff, I think one of the things people so frequently overlook is themselves. You are so finely tuned to this earthly environment to just throw it out the window and ignore your senses.
Right.
And you know, a lot of people, they get so reliant on a flashing light or a buzzing noise that they've lost connection to that, and they stop going, well, did the hair on the back of my neck just stand up? There you go. Did I get a cold chill down my back?
Yeah.
You know,
or did I opening themselves up?
Yeah. And I think that's a lot to it. And like whenever we do an investigation, the first thing we do is no gear. No gear comes with this for the first little while. Just let's feel this place out. What are we being told?
Let's just walk through it and see what's happening. You know.
Yep. We'll bring in the gear later when we need to pinpoint something.
There you go. Do you always use your cell phone? Is the cell phone a big part of your tech?
For us, no. I mean, we have some IR cameras and stuff, so we use our IR cameras to see in the dark.
SLS camera.
Now,
That's my favorite.
she loves the SLS camera.
That's my favorite.
As far as cell phones go, we do use those for internet connections for when we do our live streams and stuff. But as far as the general investigation go, no, my cell phone usually stays away from me, so it doesn't interfere with anything. Or because a lot of times, the cell phone, a lot of people don't realize the cell phone signal in that phone can reach out about 10 to 12 feet.
Yeah.
And so if you have a K2 meter, it can make it go off even 12 feet away.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about all these ghost apps that are out?
Ooh, ghost apps. I get this one a lot. Take it with a grain of salt. And again, this is one of the reasons we teach people what goes on with like a REM pod or whatever, is if you understand how it works, then knowing the limitations of your cell phone, you'll know which apps actually have some credibility and which ones are just complete garbage. Because let's face it, there are some ones out there that are just complete hogwash. But your cell phone can't act as a REM pod. It doesn't have the sensory equipment. It doesn't have the sensory equipment for it. Now, can it pick up vibrations? Sure can. They've got, it's got G-force in there, so it can detect movement in it. So any apps that have movement-based trigger in it, great. That works. So you have to understand what it's trying to do and whether your phone truly has the technology to do that.
Right. I understand that. Trust me. A lot of people ask me the same question. And you know what? And we actually have two of them. We actually use two of them, but we use them for debunking purposes. Yeah. And that's why I love critics, because I'll give that critic, hey, you take this and we'll work with you. We'll do this. Everything that we do is going to be off of you. And dude, and a lot of good debunking, trust me. And I really love it, but hey, what time is you guys are going live so I can come on and hang out with you guys? Yeah,
we're going to go live at about 9 o'clock. We always say 9 o'clock. It usually ends up being about 9:15 once we make sure we got a good strong signal. And sometimes it just takes a couple extra minutes to get things going. But usually right around 9 o'clock is when we go live, and we stream for as long as the internet allows us. Sometimes we get booted off, after a couple of hours. And sometimes the cell phone company or the internet company is nice to us and we stream all night long. So it really just depends on the internet gods.
Yeah, trust me. I wish I was one of those guys. Well,
we got pretty good signal here today, so we should be able to stream for a while.
It seemed like you guys got your stuff together as far, as a paranormal team.
We're trying. We're trying.
Like I said, you guys have a lot of equipment going on there, a lot of, stuff that the everyday Joe don't have, which, that's pretty cool. Have you guys done a lot of joint investigations, or are you guys pretty much solo?
No, we work with anybody. If anybody calls us up and says, hey, we got an investigation coming up, we'd love to have you guys be a part of the team, we're in. We'd always come. And same thing with us. We post our events online. And after we've done some events with other people, we actually invite people that we think are good fits back to come investigate with us. So, if we've done an investigation with you and we go, hey, we're going to this other location, we think you'd be a good fit for this location and us, we're gonna put that out there for you and say, hey, we want you to come with us on this next investigation. So,
well, I'll tell you, how far south in Texas do you guys come? I mean, do you guys try to go all four corners of Texas, or you guys focus on one specific area? So you guys
go everywhere.
Oh, okay. I ran into Dirty South Paranormal. I don't know if you know these guys.
We've done an investigation with them. They're one of the teams we've actually done some joint investigations with.
Yeah, those guys are pretty cool. It's a two-man crew. I just had a podcast with them last week. Very interesting couple. It seems like they know their stuff pretty well. They've been doing it for quite a while. And I mean, it seems like they're well in tuned on what they're doing up there in their little town. Just wait a minute, let me see if I can get it. Oh, I can't get it. What was the name of that little town?
Yeah, Granbury.
Granbury. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, I was gonna say Marbury.
Yeah, they're just a little south and west of us. They're actually not too far. It's only about 30 minutes from our place to theirs. So
Oh, okay. Okay. Now, how big is your little town?
I live in Kennedale, which is a town of about 7,000 people, but it sits right on the edge of Arlington. So we're kind of scrunched in between Arlington and Fort Worth. So right around us, there's probably 1,000,003 people.
A lot of noise.
My town's small, but we're surrounded by lots.
A lot of noise. Well, I'll tell you what, tell me, have you guys had any historical places in your little town, or is it just?
Well, the Old Park's a historical place.
Arlington Music Hall.
Arlington Music Hall is an historical place. It's actually a historical marker. Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm going blank.
No, don't do
But
that.
yeah, we've done oh gosh, boats and
The Reynolds County Jail.
Reynolds County Jail. That was a pretty cool place.
We've got the
so,
Lavaca
yeah.
County Jail.
Yeah, we're going to
coming up.
Lavaca County Jail in April. So
Wow. Okay. Now, the one thing I've noticed about North Texas is they don't really have any historic parks down there where there was like battlefields and stuff like that.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. Now, the one thing you got to think and remember with Texas is they weren't involved in any battles per se that were of notoriety. Most of the battles that happened in Texas, besides like the Alamo, those are south. But when you get into North Texas, most of the battles that happened there were near the forts, Fort Worth and stuff like that,
Right.
where they basically were being attacked by Indians all the time. So a lot of it's frontier kind of stuff. It wasn't actual waged war. But there's actually in Arlington, there's actually a battle site that wound up getting flooded by Lake Arlington. When they built it, Lake Arlington flooded up over it. So, but there are actually some battle sites that are there.
Have you guys investigated any of those sites or
We sure
locations?
have. We sure have.
And how was the outcome of that? I mean,
It's hit or miss, and part of it could just be the markers there, but it's not really in the right place.
okay.
So, and I think that's some of it is the markers there, but it's not really in the right place.
Right place. So they just put it there and like, yeah, because we actually investigated what was that place? Dead Man's Hole in Llano, Texas. I don't know if you guys ever heard of it.
Yep.
Yeah, we actually did an investigation in that place, and dude, we didn't catch anything. But dude, it was crazy, man. Me being, because the history of that spot was, you got some Confederate people. They were like, well, I don't want to join the Union, and then you got the Union people. It's like, we don't want the Confederate here. So, a bunch of people killed a bunch of people and threw them down the hole. So, but just recently, maybe like 10 years ago, they covered that hole up because people was trying to go down in there and see what was going on. Well, the county of Llano was like, well, no, we don't need all that. So we're just gonna block it. But anyway, we did like a 2-hour investigation there, and we had a voice recorder out, and it seemed like every time I spoke, somebody spoke back at me.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, and I was, as Black people, we were stuck in the middle of all that. You know what I'm saying? Confederate Union, and all that war stuff. And dude, it was crazy. I was actually told to kneel.
Really?
Yes, I was actually told to kneel, and when I was like shocked, and I'm like, I'm not kneeling to nobody. Who are you to tell me to kneel? And the conversation persisted. I mean, it just kept going on and on and on for a good 5 minutes. So every time I would speak into my audio recorder, and somebody would speak back.
Wow, that's cool.
crazy.
It was outrageous. And I'm like,
Wow.
oh my God, dude. But here's the thing. The other three people, nothing. It seemed like
Stonewall, huh?
they just focused on me. And for
Hey.
some reason, because if you ever been out there in Atlanta, it's just pitch dark. Everything's dark out there. And I stumbled over a rock and fell. And you can hear the voice on the voice recorder. I like, are you freaking kidding me?
Wow.
I'm like, oh my God,
That's
are
great.
you laughing at me? Because apparently they see me when I fell over the rock. So they were laughing at me when I fell. And trust me, when I fell, I had the voice recorder up here because I didn't want to damage it. So I literally fell back.
Saving a good beer.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I'm gonna send you guys some video of that because we actually caught the video of me actually falling, and it was pretty crazy. And the response, matter of fact, that whole night, from that whole 5 minutes, I'm gonna send you guys video and audio of that so you guys can actually check it out. Because
awesome.
When I actually fell, and it was kind of funny, but it kind of made me mad because they snickered at me. But what's so crazy about it, I had to come to my senses. I'm like, why am I mad at these people? They're long gone. I mean, it might be funny to them, you know, but it was a cool night, dude. That's another place you guys should check out. You know, if you're ever in the neighborhood, Central Texas, you know, has a lot of history. I mean, you can just really go across the, you know, around the street, around the corner, and you'll probably you'll find something. Like last year, no, 2 years ago, when we first started, do you guys know anything about Baghdad Cemetery in Leander, Texas?
I've heard of that.
Okay, creepy cemetery. Very festive at night, but creepy. Yeah. Okay, that's where I heard that.
I think that was my brother.
Oh, okay. Okay. That is the place where the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah, that's why it's familiar. Okay, I was like,
that's where, and dude, that place is the older side is creepier. Yeah. I mean, they're going back to 1830s, maybe a lot longer, but you go back to the south side, it kind of looks like a circus for, you know, it's festive, it's got lights and everything. It doesn't look like it's a cemetery, you know.
Wow.
It doesn't, it looked like it's a carnival, dude. That's how cool that place really
is. Be buried there.
I mean, people have different colored lights and stuff. I mean, it was cool, dude. I mean, I'm gonna send you guys a video of that because we were in the baby park because it's section all babies, adults and all that stuff. And we actually picked up a baby sitting on top of a tombstone or whatever they were doing. I'm not quite sure on what they were doing, but I asked her or him, he or she, don't get me lying, to come grab my hand. And it looked like she was actually trying to grab my hand. And it was so cool, dude. And to me, it felt like she was out there, they were out of place. You know, it seemed like they were just there, just, you know, lost. And I'm like, oh my God, how can I help this baby?
Yeah.
I mean, because the little stick figure was no bigger than that.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm like, oh, golly, dude, how do you help this? And it make you feel sad.
Yeah.
But then again, you think about it. Then you think about, well, maybe they're in a better place or supposed to be in a better place.
Right.
You're hanging out right here, you know, but I mean, that's just one of the places here in Central Texas you guys can come check out. We also have a place in Maynard called Ghost Town.
Okay.
I don't It's a place where this gentleman, all these abounding homes and all these, he knocks them down and build them like a Wild Wild West place. And he takes all these old pianos, things that people can be, you know, what's the word? You know, when you can be
repurposing?
No. It's like people can be, let's say if I take something from you and I want it back, you know, people that are died, you know, have a,
I'll say it, Indian giver.
Yeah.
No. No. It seems like they are, you know, they're dead, but they want their play things back. I can't think of
they're
that.
attached.
Yeah, they're attached to certain things.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what he does. And
Wow.
he's sitting on maybe 10 acres
Nice.
of all that.
Wow.
And the guy is pretty cool. And the way it's set up is like a 1860, 1850 ghost town.
That's awesome. We're gonna check that out.
Yeah, we got to check
Hey,
it out.
my wife heard a ball. She heard footsteps. Mind you, back then, this is set up where it's back in the 1830s. There were no, you know, everything was like dirt. So when she heard it, she heard the spurs. Heard the spurs actually walking on the saloon area, and it was like clump, like clump, like clump. And she turned around and she's like, "Don't you hear that?" I'm like, "Well, hear what?" It was boots and spurs walking. And then the way this,
crazy.
it's you guys gotta check these places out, man. They're pretty
I
cool.
definitely want to check that out. That sounds like fun.
That would be cool. And the good thing about it, it's free.
Really?
Wow.
Don't have to pay nothing. You might have to during the day they're open to the public, and that's free. You might have to go buy a hot dog or a hamburger, you know, and introduce yourself. But otherwise, that is totally free. You guys can come check it out at night. We probably stayed there for like 2.5 hours. It's pretty cool, you know, and it's a place where it's a lot of history there, you know, but just if you want to see what the old West was like, that'd be the place to go. And you
That's
know,
phenomenal.
it's right there in Maynard, Texas. It's called Old Ghost Town.
Yep,
Nice.
we're in. Let's
Old
go.
Ghost Town.
Let's go.
All right, guys. I know you guys are ready to go. It seems like you guys are ready to go on your ghost investigation. If you could tell everybody how to get a hold of you, where they can find you, a number, an email, a social media outlet, that'd be great.
We got them all. So let's do all the socials here. On YouTube, it's easy. It's Ghost Geeks.
Ghost
Boom.
Geeks.
On Instagram and Facebook, it's TX Ghost Geeks for Texas. TX Ghost Geeks.
Okay.
And then our email is txghostgeeks@gmail.com. We're working on a website and all that good stuff and the branding stuff. So that's coming eventually. But yeah, follow us on Facebook. You know, get notified when we go live, any of our events. We always post all of our events that we do on Facebook. So if you want to see where we are, that's where you're going to find out all that information. Then we do all of our live streams and all of our episodes that we create. Evidence we post is on YouTube.
Wow, guys.
Definitely go subscribe and click the little icon and never miss out.
There you go. And how many subscribers you guys have on YouTube by chance?
Not as many as we need. The YouTube side of it's pretty fresh. I think we're almost to 100. So it's getting there.
But the thing is, what's weird about YouTube is you
got to hit that logarithm.
Yeah, man, you got to hit it. And it's easy to get from 0 to 300.
Yeah.
But anything after that, oh my God, dude.
No, the hardest part is getting to 1,000. I've heard that once you get to 1,000, things start happening a lot quicker. You know, which is funny because we've got like 500 followers on Facebook, which need to go hit the subscribe button. It doesn't cost anything, folks, but you sure help us out a lot.
Hey guys, you heard from this man himself. It doesn't cost anything. Go check these guys out, man. They're cool. I checked out some of their videos last night. They are cool. You know, they bring a lot to the table. I'm telling you guys. They gave you all their information. So if you ever want to get a hold of them, you have it. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
contact us. Check us out.
Yep.
Come with us.
Yeah, come with us on investigation. We
And,
open up a
hey,
few of them every year for some spots for people to come along with us. So
but you know, they haven't invited me yet. They invited you guys, but they ain't invited me yet. I mean, I
We'll
don't
get
know
you,
how
Terry.
I feel about that.
let's work on it. We'll find a place.
We're coming for you.
Well, hey, I would love to come on an investigation with you guys, dude.
Well, we're doing one probably not too far from you, the old Lavaca County Jail.
That's far away from me.
Is it far away from
No,
you?
no.
At least it's closer. It's down south, right?
Yeah, well, actually, we are next weekend, January 21st. We are going to Huntsville, Texas. We are
Nice.
going,
I got family that lives in Huntsville.
We are going. Well, then you know about Demons Road and Martha's. Yeah, that's where we're going.
I want to go. I want to go.
That's where we are going. It's just 2 hours away from here, from Cedar Park. I just got back from Lafayette. It took me 7 hours to get here. I just got back from Lafayette, Louisiana.
I love Louisiana. Oh, I love Louisiana.
And you know what? I've been to Lafayette maybe 8 times already, and I've yet to do an investigation there.
Really? Uh-oh.
Yes. Uh-oh.
Our phone gave me a low power and now, oh, there you go. You're back. I was like, don't
Yeah.
die. I got a plug. Hold
I've
on.
yet to do an investigation there, guys. When I go there, I'm hanging with my son and all that stuff. But I want, are you gone? Oh, there you go.
No. I plugged in the phone, so it started charging again.
So I would love to go do an investigation there in Lafayette. Now, from what I hear, the oldest town in Louisiana is just a little town south of Lafayette called Franklin, the oldest town in Louisiana. It's old, supposedly it's older than New Orleans. Now we know how far New Orleans go back.
Oh yeah, it goes way back.
Now Franklin is right off the bayou. I mean, it's literally in Gator country.
Yeah, so I know where it's at. Yeah,
I definitely want to go check that place out. But I just thought I'd throw that. Yeah, so 21st, we are going to Huntsville, Texas. Check out Demons Road, Martha's Cemetery.
Martha's Cemetery, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and dude, and I checked out some of the people's YouTube channels that actually been there. And dude, it's so funny seeing people run, because they run to get out of that cemetery so fast. And which
that's
I don't
more
know
dangerous
why.
than the ghost.
Yeah, right.
I don't run. One, I'm too fat for that.
Exactly. Hey, they will catch me. Hey, they will catch me. And after that, and Saturday night, we are going to what is that place called? Huntsville Prison Cemetery. Now, this is the prison.
I know where
this is the cemetery where they put all the bodies where people don't claim.
Yep.
So they buried them there.
And that's also the leading execution prison in Texas. That's where
exactly. So that's where everything is happening. So that's where we're going next weekend, guys. So wish us the best.
Awesome. Nice. We look forward to seeing that investigation.
Oh, definitely. It would be, hopefully it would be, not only educational, but, kind of spooky too. You know what I'm saying? I mean,
I like a good
spooky. I like a good spooky, dude. All right, guys, I'm about to sign off. Hey, I appreciate you guys, coming on, chatting with me. And hopefully we'll be able to do this again.
Absolutely. Anytime, man. Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
I don't know who that is behind you.
That's Reagan.
She's mine.
Oh.
All right.
And that's my wife, Leslie.
Well, let's get everybody.
Here's the core group right here. This is the core group.
Okay, let's go ahead and introduce yourselves while you're there in the back there.
I'm Leslie. I'm married to this guy, and I'm this lady's sister. And this is my niece Reagan.
This is my daughter Reagan.
Hi guys, how you guys doing? You guys doing all right?
Hi, nice to meet you.
All right, hey.
Also, one of you need investigating. So.
All right, hey, I'll tell you what. You guys send me an address. I will send you a shirt,
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
And I would love to grab one of those. Hey, I'll take an extra large.
All right.
You got
You
it.
know what I'm saying?
got
Hey, if
I
you
got
guys
one
want to
for
send me
you.
one of those, that would be great. You know, in the
Absolutely,
meantime,
man.
I am gonna do it the way that we do it on our NSPS TV paranormal show. Peace. You guys have a good night, man. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, have a good one.
Oh, that was great.